Mill knowingly exposed us to COVID right before our trip. Hi guys. I have thought about posting about my mill here many times. Today I got the text that finally tipped me over the edge. Husband and I have had a trip planned for ages now that the restrictions are finally lifting where we live. He developed a sore throat over the weekend. No big deal, we think. We've both been so careful for the past 2 years. This is just another false alarm. One antigen test later, just to be safe, aaaaand. It's positive. Just a couple weeks before the flight. Despite him isolating immediately, I get a sore throat the next day. One test later and, at least now we can isolate together. Husband had just spent several hours at his mother's house 2 days prior, so he called her to warn her she was a close contact. Oh, now that you mention it, I've had a sore throat for a week. She took a test after the phone call. Positive. Of course. ... I see red, immediately assume the worst intentions of her, that she intentionally exposed us because warning us she had symptoms would mean no more visits. Husband assures me it was just an oversight. I try to calm down. I'm angry about the ruined trip and coming down with COVID myself. I'm not thinking clearly. Fast forward to today, she sends me a text asking me if I think it's safe for her to come out of isolation. Because her first positive test was actually over a week ago, 3 days prior to spending the day with my husband. ... And I'm seeing red again. She says the line was so faint she wasn't sure if it was really positive. Despite having printed instructions packaged with the test. Despite having symptoms herself. Despite having taken it in the first place because of a sick contact of her own. Husband is again assuring me it was an honest mistake. I really want to believe him, as there's no point in being angry now. It won't change our predicament. But he also frequently minimizes stuff like this. On the other hand, this pandemic has opened my eyes to just how dense most people can be. And despite how dumb a mistake this is, and whatever I may think about her enmeshment issues, I really have a hard time believing she would intentionally put our health at risk. As for the trip, it's in the air. We need a negative PCR to fly. We won't be contagious by that time, but we will still be positive. For those that don't know, PCRs remain positive for several weeks after infection, even when you are no longer contagious or sick. There is a form you can get saying you have recovered from a recent infection to get around this, but that takes time to process. There's a good chance it won't come in time. Still seeing red. Perhaps that's actually a symptom of the COVID. Also, I have aches in muscles I didn't even know I had. Who has a mill like this? Please subscribe and leave a comment below.